There are people all over the world who wake up every day in immense fear. People who face the daily risk of being killed or of losing their family and loved ones. People who live just to survive another day. In my home country of El Salvador, this is how I used to live. My name is Ariela Suster, and I grew up during El Salvador's Civil War, when the fear of violence restricted every single aspect of our lives. At times, we were confined to our homes, unable to attend school, and every day brought a new uncertainty of what could happen. My family experienced violence firsthand when my brother was kidnapped, and we remained for a whole year uncertain if we would ever see him again. Thankfully, my brother was released, and the Civil War came to an end, but the violence and conflict persevered. Staggering gang-related violence and the highest murder rate per capita make El Salvador one of the most dangerous places in the world. Currently, El Salvador is mapped out by 2 rival gangs. If you live in one area controlled by one gang, you cannot physically access another area controlled by the rival gang for fear of being killed, even if these 2 areas are only a couple of streets away. And when gang leaders are imprisoned, they continue to organize the most violent crimes from within the prisons. So when young men enter these prisons, their violent fates become cemented. And I recently understood this when I visited one of El Salvador's high-security prisons, and I learned that the structure of violence creates an endless cycle that traps and entrenches at-risk youth. I felt completely powerless that I could ever break this cycle and that I could ever make a difference. But I knew in that moment that my purpose was to focus on the youth before they embarked in that path. In 2011, I started a company called Sequence, which makes handcrafted jewelry and accessories. At Sequence, our sole mission is to disrupt the cycle of violence by employing young men who are at risk of joining the gangs of El Salvador. We started our first workshop with 3 young men, and now we effectively employ and empower over 50. As Sequence has grown, we've needed to create some innovative business solutions to train, hire, and support the young men who live and work in rival gang territories. Technologies like Skype and the cloud have been the only way our 2 workshops have been able to meet and communicate with each other, even though they're only 10 minutes apart. I believe this business model transcends the borders of El Salvador and can be applied in places around the world that are facing the same issues. When you combine your human sense of power, you can achieve so much more than you could ever dreamed of. And for the men that work with me, technology has empowered them to achieve so much more than they had ever dreamed of. All of us gathered here come from different communities that face serious issues of fear and violence. But equally, all of us here have the power and potential to create great impact in overcoming those fears. All of you have the business tools to engineer lasting change. It's not about altering your lifestyle or abandoning your career. It's about stepping into your awareness of what your current business can do to address worldwide issues. Yes, these problems are huge, but when you know your potential and tap into your purpose, you can begin to take ownership of the impact you want to have and discover exactly how to do it. Thank you. Muchas gracias.